How's it going, everybody? Thanks a lot for watching. This is the REEL SYNTHS Volume 2 Moog MG-1 synths for Ableton Live. I sampled the Moog MG-1 into my Tascam 388 tape recorder. It's a reel-to-reel tape machine. And I sampled those into Ableton Live and built 44 different instruments. And I thought I'd just take you through some of these and show you how they work. This little one is called Epic Man. This is an example of a type of synth where I take the capabilities of the MG-1, the original synth, and expand upon them with some of the stuff in Ableton Live. And in this particular synth, you can see I'm using the filter to smooth out some of those sounds. I've also got some delay on here. I can turn that down. Bring it back up. We've got a chorus we can add to it. We've got another low pass filter if we want. We've got a phaser. And we've also got a dirt control. And we can also go inside of these different sounds and play around with things like the filter envelope, which will now make this open up. Or we can bring it down here and it'll close down. Make it go real fast. And that's a totally different sound now, based on a few little changes in our macro controls. I'm going to move forward into another thing that we have is like a filtered delay. Some fun sounds there with the repitch mode and delay. We've got our other filter that's on top here, and we're going to let this move around a little bit. I'm going to go back into the beginning here, and now we can hear that filter moving. Add a little dirt, which is over into here, and we can change the tone of that dirt. A little more high-pitched or a little lower. Control over our phaser. So we've taken the sound to quite a different place than we originally had. And that's just one of the many sounds. So I'm going to take you back to the beginning of this session here. All the way over here where I'm going to save this crazy Noisemaker for last because that one is kind of fun. We've got a very just simple patch right here, which is one of the tone generators on the Moog MG-1. And I'm not processing this really with much inside of these instrument racks. So you have the option to get like this pure tone, but then I've got other sounds like this next one, which takes that particular tone source and turns it into this kind of pad sound. Get another like pure saw wave tone turned into a bass sound and a glidey lead. On this one you have control over the glide time. All of these instruments allow you to use the mod wheel to add some vibrato. You can also affect the pitch if you use aftertouch. A little more subtle on the aftertouch. And you can hear this is almost like video game type sounds on some of these. And there are quite a few of these, 44 in fact. I'll let you kind of play around with them, but this should just give you a little taste of what's going on. One of the instruments I just want to show you here is called the Crazy Noisemaker, and this one's a little bit different than the rest of them. This one has different controls different effects. And what I did is I played with the noise on the synth and moved my filter around and took advantage of some of the kind of errors and problems I have with the synth, where the thing, my filter knob especially, has these kind of dropouts and crackles, and I'm taking advantage of that here, and you can hear some noises, and within the noise, some dropouts. But what I think is really cool about this instrument is when you start playing around with some of these loop position controls here that I have macro mapped, so we can determine where we want the sample to start with the first macro control. We can change the loop position, so this is where it's going to loop. And if we go to 0%, we can sort of scan this in like a granular way. You find some like cool little sections of noise, which I think is sort of fun. And we've also got the loop length too, so you can play around with how long you want your loop to be when it actually loops. Once we start playing around with the filter and the LFO on the filter, and then add in our delay, I think this gets really interesting. And the funny thing about this particular sound is I almost didn't include it. I recorded this sample just kind of for fun and didn't think it would serve any purpose. But I'm really enjoying just all these crazy noises we're able to get out of it as we scan through the samples and turn the knobs around. So thanks a lot for checking this out. You can get this at my site, AfroDJMac.com. Enjoy.